the Dandan flow is all about human stories.
Yeah.
And it's this idea of speaking to different people to hear their perspectives, to help you inform your own perspective and understand a little bit more about the lives of others and thereby understand more about yourself.
Okay.
So, Cam Dallas,
Yes.
welcome to the Dandan flow.
There we go.
So, I think we first met about 2-3 years ago.
I think it's actually going on to 4 years, to be honest with you.
Oh, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah. It must be about 4 years, because what are we, 2026? So, yeah, about 4 years ago, eh?
Yeah. I remember the initial conversation was about Chrome, and
Yeah.
learned a couple of things about that. And I know that you're involved in this kind of commodities trading. You can fine tune my language around it.
No problem.
When and as you see
But
that
you're on the
necessary.
right track there.
Yeah. Where did you start with this? I mean,
Sure.
say finish school and then decided, oh, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a.
No, so finished school, and then I went straight into studying varsity college, did a diploma, and then did a degree in BCom marketing, and then decided to travel the world a bit. Went to Asia, lived my best years, or best couple months up there, and got into property, and then I was brokering a commercial building in town, and met a client, and he said, have you ever tried proper trading, moving things, etc., in the mineral world? And I said, no. Passed me on to a few clients and haven't really looked back since then, For me, it's a cutthroat industry, don't get me wrong, but the thrill of it and the excitement, you're dealing in a pool of sharks, put it that way, and I got hooked. You learn different aspects of business, different life lessons, different this, different that. I mean, it tests your patience, it really does. But on the Chrome side of things, obviously tried a bit of brokering and trading in the Northwest, and didn't go too well out there. It's a very saturated market as well. So decided to move operations back to Zimbabwe, where I'm originally from.
Bulawayo, you
Yeah,
said.
originally from Bulawayo, and actually met a gentleman, and believe it or not, in a pub at Barristers, and he passed me on to the right connections back home, and from there things really started to build and build and build, and you start understanding who to deal with, how to do it, what not to do, etc., and then that's when it's all this industry, like all businesses, but specifically this industry, it's all about your relationships. The trust barrier is imperative when you're dealing with these kind of things, and for the first couple of years, it taught me a lot in who to trust, who not to trust, how to get from point A to point B the right way, because if you make one mistake in this industry, it can make or break you. Put it that way.
I understand, because obviously your reputation is is everything, and if someone decides that you are not ethical in a specific dealing, and
Yeah.
that word goes around, then it becomes very difficult for you to do business.
No, and it's a very small space, like everyone knows everyone. Put it that way. So it's like one phone call. Are you dealing with this guy? Are you dealing with that guy? Okay, cool. It's easy to slip up, 100%. But then again, like I say, it's all on that trust relationships and trying to find a set of clients that you can literally stick with and build on those relationships and obviously make a proper business out of it.
Yeah, you have to risk it to get the biscuit.
You have to. In a nutshell.
So you were saying the Chrome thing was Northwest, and that didn't ended up not working out that well. Are you still involved with Chrome at all, or?
Yeah, so in Zim, 100%. I've got a few allocations down in Zim with some trusted clients down there. Obviously, to move it to port or to warehouse, you have to have all your documents in order, your import-export papers. You need to be signed up with MMCZ, Zimra clearance, and all of that, just to make sure things are above board. Otherwise, I mean, you can tell your client that you're starting to move product and then it gets stopped at the border. what you're gonna do. Now the risks are on you if you don't have your ducks in a row.
Yeah. Also recall, so I'm going to hang around with this Chrome thing because it was sort of one of my initial. I recall someone working in Mpumalanga at furnace, smeltery.
Smarter, yeah.
Specifically a chrome smelter. And then with some of the ESCOM electricity issues, those guys eventually shut down. And we don't actually have smelteries in South Africa or in Southern Africa at any rate. So that's actually raw materials that get exported to mostly China.
China, US, yeah, the biggest, and then obviously a lot of the coal goes to India as well. So, but specifically on the chrome, most of the exports that we do or that we have dealings with or that we know of people that are doing, etc., is mostly US and China.
Okay, and they're different qualities, right? Because obviously you have a very high quality chrome. And
Yes.
then you also have, because you're working with the raw stuff, so you can't separate it out before you move it out.
Yeah, so obviously on the ROM side of things, which is your run of mine, your your raw material, once you wash it, you get to your concentrate. So South Africa's particularly your 38 to 40%, 40 to 42%. Some regions reach up to 44%, but your higher grade chromium is particularly from the Zim region, where you can go all the way up to about a 48, 50, sometimes 52%. Obviously, the value and price goes up to the quality of the spec, and then you start reaching your ferrochromes after that. But there's also mainly Zim,
So
up there.
just, for my ignorance here, when you have a number like a 42 or a 48 up to a 52, you said, is that the ratio of, let's say, rock to chrome in the mix, or is
So
that
it's
the actual chrome quality
So
itself?
chrome quality, so between a 40 and 42%, but then obviously you've got a mix of minerals or metals in there. So you obviously look to your chrome to iron ratio. Most clients want a 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, etc., etc. So it's entirely up to the client what you can wash it to, how you can blend it, screen it, etc., etc. going forward. So yeah, in a nutshell, yeah, your 40 to 42, like you were saying, it's the percentage of the chrome in there. Yeah, the grade of the chrome, put it that way, of the metal.
There's something I always find fascinating, and especially at the moment where now the world seems a little bit turbulent, and I actually read a little meme. I'm sure it's going to become a meme just before we came in here. And basically, the idea of we're monitoring the situation. That's the thing we do. Like everyone's watching social media to see what happens in the world, and we're monitoring the situation.
Yep.
It says no one should have to monitor so many situations. So we're in a little bit of a rough time.
Yeah.
But what I always find very exciting about people like yourself who trade in physical goods, whether that's fuel or minerals or whatever it may be.
Agriculture, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's sort of while other people are trying to predict what's going to happen in the world, these things are still being traded. They're still happening. They're always happening. And, you have people running around making deals and using the opportunity, actually using some of the chaos to their advantage.
100%. 100%. Well, the thing is with minerals, there's always going to be a demand. I mean, we use them in all of our infrastructure, etc., etc. Specifically gold. If you look at that to hold the value, that's just going to keep increasing and increasing. The demand's going to keep increasing and increasing. Also, I mean, if you look at your maize products, obviously always going to be a demand.
People got to eat.
People have to eat. People have to eat, bro. That's the thing. And in my personal opinion, I can just see the demand for maize in the next 10 to 15 years just climbing and climbing. It's going to be one of the most traded commodities, in my opinion, in the next 10 to 15 years.
And where do you see that growth coming from, or why do you speculate that it'll continue to grow?
Well, I mean, if you look at, Zim's they have been importing from us on the maize side of things and vice versa. I just think with regards to the the diversity of development and the space and the crops, in my opinion, it's just going to keep increasing for that demand going forward. So, I mean, for me, I'm already starting to look if we start looking at investing in agriculture. My first thought would be obviously to start going into the maize sector, start building on that for your exports going forward. You know, in my opinion, in the next 10 to 15 years, the demand for maize is just going to reach an exponential high.
Interesting. We'll watch that space.
Yeah.
So at the moment, are you guys trading in food commodities as well? Or?
So one of my partners on the logistics side of things has got a few contracts to move maize. It's not something that I've looked at trading. It is quite a difficult avenue to get involved in. But on the logistics side of things, if a contract comes our way to move, let's say 4,000 or 5,000 tons, we'll jump on that and start moving that. But it's a new entry for our company at the moment.
So you guys mostly specialize in minerals at the moment?
Yeah, well, specifically on the chrome side of things, I mean, I decided to choose one avenue. And I mean, I've met multiple traders in my life, and they all want to trade iron ore, cobalt, this, that. Pick something that you understand, that you build a clientele around, build a niche market around that, and then focus on that pretty much is what I've found. And for chrome, I just thought, let me just rather fixate my energy on this and build my reputation and relationships around this. And if it ventures into other things, it ventures into other things, So I've purely just decided to stick on that one going forward. Well, yeah, we do a bit on the logistics side of things on other minerals, but specifically on the trading side and our rock solid clients that have got their own mines, allocations at port, etc. We specifically focus on the chrome side of things. Yeah.
Fair enough. And so in terms of the logistics, you said one of your partners doing a little bit of maize, and you've got other minerals that you sort of move around. What are the main sort of arteries and directions that minerals move?
Locally or cross-border?
So locally and cross-border, but let's say for things happening in South Africa, some of it gets exported, some of it gets resold in the country and moves from one location to another location. Like where would be the ideal spot for someone to have, let's say, a logistics hub?
Joburg, to be honest with you, because you close to all the main routes. I mean, you're close to Mpumalanga, you're close to Pretoria. You're not too far from Limpopo, you're not too far from the Northwest, where pretty much all your mines and agricultural land is. So, I mean, the Northwest specializes obviously in your platinum and your chrome. Mpumalanga, obviously, we know exactly how big the coal mines and coal sector is there. So, obviously, to distribute your logistics hub, and all your big warehouses are in like City Deep and Gazina and Pretoria. So, your big logistics boys, trucks, warehousing, all of that, for me, it's Joburg. It's where everything moves.
And so that's where you stay when you're not traveling.
Yeah.
Sorry, just before this, you're discussing the jet setter. Just
yeah, I'm on the road. I'm on the road quite a bit, but yeah, been back and forth between here and Joburg for Danie, about 5-6 years now. But this year specifically, I'm going to be a hell of a lot more up in Joburg. The pace is so much faster up there, especially in the industry that I'm in, and the relationships and clients that I've built around my business. It makes more economical sense, logistics sense to be pretty much more based up there. Obviously, keep coming back to Cape Town and fly back up, but this year predominantly will be back up in Joburg most of the year. It's easier to control things up there, and when the truck's on the road, or you have to go to meetings, or you have to be in Pretoria, I mean, it's a stone's throw away. It's not a 2-hour flight every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This something I've found fascinating for a long time is the difference between a place like Johannesburg and Cape Town. And you say, oh, well, there's an altitude difference. The one is inland and the one is down at the
Coastal,
coast.
yeah.
And, what are all of these things? And then some people say it's just an energy, right? It's like Joburg is a fire energy and
Yeah.
Cape Town is a water energy. But I do, and having lived in both, I remember initially being in Cape Town. I think I lived here for 3 years. And it was so tough to get anything to happen. It was so difficult to actually make friends or, it was a tough place.
Yeah.
And then, and specifically socially, right? And it's sort of cliquey and to get into business and everything else. And got to Joburg and basically walked into the first pub, told someone what I did. They jumped on a phone, called a friend, said, hey, here. And immediately things start moving.
Yeah.
And it is...
People, in my opinion, people aren't scared to do business in Joburg. Like they'll meet someone off the bat for the first time, and if your energies align and you talk the same language, it's a phone call away, like you just said. They'll be like, oh, I know this guy. Hold on, bang. Cape Town, I don't know. I find people are just a lot more reserved. Also, I mean, Cape Town's a hell of a small place, so again, everyone knows everyone. If you've grown up here and you've been to one of the 4 boys' schools or one of the 4 girls' schools, I mean, you've grown up together. I mean, you've partied together, varsity together, rugby, this, that. I mean, it's walking into a pub going, oh, I know exactly who that person is, kind of thing. Whereas Joburg, it's such a vast environment. It's such a big space. I mean, but from the one side of Joburg to the other side of Joburg is literally like driving from here to Paul, even further. So the opportunities of walking into a pub and someone going, oh, you in that business? Are you in that business? Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me just match make it quickly. People are there it's fast paced. People are there to make money. Whereas Cape Town, it's, oh, I know him. I'll get round to it kind of thing. That's just my mindset on the difference between the two cities,
Yeah. No, I think it's a much faster way to move in Johannesburg. And a couple of people would say that, well, it's fine, like blow your money on the weekend because on Monday we'll make it back again.
Correct.
Where Cape Town tends to be older money and it tends to be people being more cautious about where their money goes because it's not necessarily coming in
as quickly. Correct. But also, I mean, in a nutshell, for me, the Joburg's the right hand lane on the highway. It's the fast lane, so it's either sink or swim. Like you either here to to make things happen or get left behind. The deal's there, take it or leave it, kind of thing. Whereas here, people tend to stall a little bit. In my opinion, things just don't get done as quickly. Like you say about the money, people are a bit cautious. Okay, let's put it here or let's put it there. Whereas Joburg, it's like, okay, cool, the deal's there, let's get it done. Let's risk it. Because tomorrow there's going to be another deal on the table. You know what I mean? We can keep chasing like that. It moves. Fast lane, right lane.
Fast lane, right lane.
Yeah, there we go.
So, how long have you been involved in trading and how...
Going on to about 5.5 years now. Yeah, about 5.5 years.
And the way that you see it moving in terms of growth for the business, deal sizes and whatever else?
Yes, so we on the climb at the moment. So I'm very, very happy about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a very, very difficult industry to crack and to get right. Like I said previously, it's all about the relationships and building on those relationships and meeting the right people that can put you in the right spaces at the right time, kind of thing. So it's been a long, long 5.5 years. Don't get me wrong. But we find you in a position where, it's one call and, okay, cool, we've got this client, we're happy with him, let's start moving, he can do this, he can't do this, and you take smaller steps in order to get each deal moving, because I mean there are big deals. You are moving quite a bit of mineral, well, quantity. So you have to, all your checks have to be in place, you know. And over time, you start to realize how each step starts to make more and more sense, and why it's taken so long to get to those steps and to build in the business, and to make the right moves going forward, and to analyze the right risks, or mitigate the right risks, etc., you know. So yeah, and from our side, we're on the climb, which I'm very happy about. Like I said, it's been a long haul, but we finally moving in the right direction. So happy about it.
So some big milestones that you hit. Hey.
Yes, 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 you're right.
So in terms of some of the things that you've mentioned before, like that I get quite excited about, I also understand that there's IP involved and that you don't want to give away the secrets, like the magic sauce to how you guys are busy succeeding and so on. But what are some of the interesting things that you've learnt in, say, in the past 5 years, like specific things that?
Sure, Danie, there's a number of things. I mean, firstly is to actually analyze or to structure each deal differently to each client and their needs and wants. Put it that way. I mean, some clients want it this way, or some clients want it that way. There's
So you have
certain
to personalize the deal very specifically.
Yeah, well, I mean, some companies want to pay like this, some companies want to pay like that, some guys want to do a letter of credit, some guys want to do a bank guarantee, etc., etc. I mean, there's a lot of talk in the industry, you know, and there's a lot of people who say they are the client to purchase, or this or that, or they are the supplier. For me, going forward, is the biggest fundamentals that I think I can say is how to analyze things, you know, going forward, and how to structure the deal, or how to read it off the bat from meeting someone in a meeting, you know. The more you start trading, and the more the deeper you get into the business, and over the years you start to really analyze who's who in the zoo, kind of thing. So the
So
biggest
you obviously have the data that you're following to help you analyze, but there's also they call seeing around the corner. So that what basically becomes a sort of instinct, I suppose.
Correct.
But that instinct's actually informed by all of the experience, all of the previous data, and then being able to estimate, try to figure out what's happening, what's going to happen next, what can you see that other people aren't seeing,
Correct.
because that's what creates the opportunity for you.
Yes, correct, 100%. How to analyze that, you know, and it comes over time. I'm pretty sure most businessmen in most industries would probably say the same thing. I mean, it comes with experience, and you know, trusting too much and then falling hard, and then trying to figure out what to do next and what not to do, and how to analyze that. And for me, it's probably the biggest fundamental me and the company has learned, is that initial gut feeling going forward, and like you say, see around the corner, kind of thing, you know, like what's going to happen next. Start visioning that before it goes pear-shaped, you know. And I
Yeah.
mean, we've been there, you know. I mean, we've all taken those risks, and we've all believed the right people that we think, you know, and we've all learned that hard lesson. We might learn it a few times. I've learned it a few times, and I'll be honest about that. I mean,
I probably get to learn it again.
100%. We're human, you know. We make mistakes, and we do things, and we overtrust, and we overanalyze, and we overthink, and you fall on your ass a couple times. But in this industry, it's taught me a hell of a lot, you know. And you see the world, and people for what it really is, you know.
You try to maybe explain that a little bit better
Uh,
for my sake.
for you, you tend to get a feel. on your first instinct. So your first judgment, in my opinion, always go with it, kind of thing. You know, does that make a bit more sense?
I think so. Um, it's essentially what you're saying is that your first instinct is most likely to be right, especially if you have the necessary amount of experience in an arena.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because your first instinct might actually be very wrong if you don't, have the right data available
Yeah. So if you've
or experience.
yeah. So if you've got that experience, and you know that initial feeling you get, like when you walk into a room and you meet a new client, and off the bat, the first couple of sentences he says and the way he holds himself, you're like, okay, cool, let's go with this.
Or no, not at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty much trying to say. In my
That's
my
actually trying to, like, part of the art of trade deals is being able to sniff out the bullshitters.
correct. So when I was a junior tradie, I mean, starting the business, my first year or two, you jump at every deal that comes your way, and you believe everything, and you meet. I mean, when I first moved to Joburg, I think I went to about 20 meetings a day, and everyone has got the same ideas, or everyone's got this commodity, or everyone's got this and this and this and this, and then after the year 3, year 4, you start going, no, 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 okay, yes, yes, and then you eventually build that tougher skin, and you're like, he knows what he's doing. Okay, cool. You know, it's that initial feeling, like when you walk into a room for a meeting, and like I said earlier, this guy, the first couple of sentences, you know exactly, okay, cool, I can do business with him, or let's let's do another meeting, kind of thing. And for me, that was the hardest thing to learn, because my junior years, like I said, you just want to believe everything, and you learn
You want it to
you
be
learn
true so badly that you just keep on burning your fingers.
100%, 100%. Then eventually you're just gonna be like, sure, okay, let's take a step back, let's reanalyze, let's look at the scenario like this. Okay, cool. No, we can't work with him, but we can work with him. Okay, let's penetrate this client. Okay, cool. He likes you, you like him. Okay, maybe you might open another door going in this direction, in this direction. And for us and the company specifically, I started identifying exactly who to focus my energy on, and who to penetrate and persist, etc., etc. And then another door opened, and another door opened, and another door opened. And then after 5.5 years, you're actually sitting going, okay, cool, you've got a set of clients that you pretty much only want to work with. That
And
would,
they're actually, that's sets of clients are actually, they're part of your network. And that network means that you get more data, which means that you can make better assumptions about what the future might actually hold.
correct.
Which gets me to something that I do find very interesting for someone like yourself with such a network. And because of the access to information you have, we're sort of, are we 2 weeks in? A week, 2 weeks
Of,
of the conflict in Iran.
yeah, it's going into our second week, yeah.
And so obviously that's got people all over the planet sort of jumping around trying to guess what's happening next and what's going to happen to energy prices, for instance. And obviously energy prices would influence all kind of trade because things need energy to move around. What do you see coming?
In terms of,
Just in terms of how this might affect your business and what the kind of things are that you might do to mitigate that.
well, I mean, if you look on the logistics side of things, I mean, obviously the petrol and diesel war, the oil price is going to start increasing in South Africa, which is going to increase not only the fuel costs, but it's going to start increasing the cost of the commodity. It's you know what the cost of the commodity is going to go up, the cost of the fuel is going to go up, so it will balance out. So it's one shift kind of thing. For the clients that have got contracts in place and that still need to keep trading and still need the goods or commodities on an ongoing basis, I mean, yes, it's going to affect everything as a whole, but in my opinion, I don't see it really really disrupting the mineral space. I mean, it might open up a few more opportunities along the way. You know, start looking or start diversing and going, okay, well, what if we start moving that product there, stockpiling, and then moving that there? You know, you gotta look at how the economy and how the oil and energy is moving in coordinates to the commodities, and you start mitigating the risks against that and start looking at the opportunities within that. Is how I look at it and how I analyze it going forward. Play with the disruption in the market for your advantage.
It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
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 So I know some of the countries, well, they have the ability to call a force majeure,
Yeah.
and that means that there's certain future contracts and so on that just get cancelled, and that space is created, and whoever knows how to best play that space actually has a potential opportunity, right?
Yeah, the advantage, you know, they're on the upper hand. You know, always analyze it, look at it and go, okay, what can I do to do this? Or how can I manipulate that for my advantage? Or how do I get that pawn over there? You know, it's a game of chess if you think about it.
How would someone who wants to start out from nothing, who wants to play this game, what would your advice be aside from don't do it?
Well, that was going to be my answer, and you beat me to it. Sure, Danie. Just be ready for risks. You know, be prepared to fail. You know, never give up, kind of thing. You asked me to how someone can be best prepared. You can't be best prepared. You literally just you either know what to do or you don't know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, keep doing that until you know what to do.
Persist in your folly until...
Yeah, but pretty much. I mean, you just got to go with the flow. Take each day as it comes, and if you failed in that criteria or in that segment, look at it. I mean, most people, after 2 or 3 years, they probably just throw the towel in. I said, no, I'm going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And
So obviously that's something, and I'll admit I've dabbled in trade, just burnt my fingers, didn't work at all, didn't persist the way that you have. And I don't really regret that. I think I sort of learned what I needed to. But what do you see in terms of your, maybe personality, just the way that you put together, or the way that you grew up, schools that you went to, or something in your development that allowed you to be in the space where you could persist in the folly until it works? Like, what gave you that tenacity and endurance?
I hate giving up, Donnie. And I hate it when someone says, you can't do that. You know, I'm going to show you I can do it. And I'm going to keep going. If it takes me 5 years, 5 minutes, 10 years, 20 minutes, whatever it is. I mean, for me, my goal is obviously to make it properly in this industry and to match the right business to business going forward. Obviously, I studied BCom through Varsity College, and in my mindset, for me, it's when you've got that eye on the prize, keep going. You know, it's like playing sports. I mean, playing rugby, you get tackled, you get back up. You know, you're gonna go and score that try, or you're gonna get the team over the line. For me, in this industry, getting knocked down, getting back up, knocked down, getting back up, eventually it's just going to keep getting easier and easier. Well, you think it's going to keep getting easier and easier, but you just keep knowing. You start learning how to play the rules in your favor. And for me, analyzing that and having the drive in me is what's kept me going. I mean, I can fail and fail and fail, but at the end of the day, the prize is there and we're going to get it. You know, that's just my philosophy. Just keep going, bro. Just keep going.
No, I mean, on the one hand, the more you try, the more you, if nothing else, learn what not to do.
Yeah.
But you also get more tough along the way, and you
Correct.
actually learn that you even if it doesn't really become easier, at least you become more accustomed to managing the pain and suffering of.
It gets easier to manage.
How do you try to maintain a bit of balance? Well, obviously, sort of very high risk and stress environment is.
I did play a lot of club rugby and club water polo. So my junior years, that helped me a lot. I tend to wander to the pub a bit more these days, and try and have a bit of a stress reliever there. But
I mean, it kind of does the trick, but there's a sustainability question, obviously, right?
yeah, of course. For me, it's taking a time out when you know when to take a time out and to switch off, which is difficult for me because it's my brain just doesn't want to stop. But from the years being in these difficult positions and ups, downs, this deal going this way, that, to stabilize and to maintain, for me, it's just when you get home, switch off kind of thing. You know, the mind also needs a bit of a rest, even if you're at the pub or you're going for a run or a walk or the gym, which I need to get back into. That's 2026 it's on the list to get back in there. But mentally for me, it's just to try and switch off for a bit. You know, otherwise you're just going to drive yourself mad.
Yeah, I think this is something I've seen for a couple of my friends who are doing very well financially,
Yeah.
but who always seem to be spun up, and all of them sort of looking for, like, I ask you, like, what's the solution? The solution is, yeah, no, I need to give my mind some time to chill. It's like, yeah, well, do you do it?
It's difficult.
I plan to. It's like you say, it's in my plan for 2026. I'm going to find out a way to allow my mind to just switch off a little bit. And
it's easy. It's easier said than done, and I'll personally admit it, because I mean I'm on my phone 24/7. It's always in my hand, and when I put it down for like 10 minutes, I start
get a
going.
little itchy hand.
I start looking. I'm like, where did I put it? Like, what? Then you look at it and there's no messages. And for me, when I look at it and there's no messages, I'm like, no, something. Then I start thinking, no, something's wrong now. Like,
It's a signal working.
if I'm out, business meeting, lunch, wine farm, whatever it is, and my phone dies, promise you, it's like a mini panic attack. It's like, I need this thing on. You know, like, what's happening? If there's one thing that I'm really addicted to, it's my bloody phone, to be completely honest. And going back to your previous question, the fundamentals and how to de-stress, or that, I mean, to actually put the phone down for like an hour or two, it's, when I can do it, it's a breath of fresh air to actually just turn this thing off and turn that off and just try and ease into it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This year, 100% need to start getting back into the gym. But then again, you know, you got your phone and you're doing weights, or you're on the treadmill, but you might still have your phone, or you got your earphones in, listening to a podcast or something, and then someone's phoning you again. I mean, to actually get rid of that thing, for me, it's difficult, Danie. I mean,
It's almost like you have to book yourself a date night,
yeah.
like once a week. Have your little Faraday cage with a little alarm clock on, manual thing, 2 hours. There you go. I don't have a phone for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I can just sit. But you'll find some other way to try and, because you'll have to lock away your laptop and.
Yeah, because you their WhatsApp's on, and you know what?
Okay, my phone is safely locked away. Get on the MacBook.
There we go. Yeah, okay, I can do that email. I can do that chat. So that's why when I travel locally, a holiday once in a blue moon kind of thing or whatever, to try and find a place where there's no signal, for me, is the dream. Because now you can't do anything about it. You can't log on.
The only way to get away is to force yourself.
Yeah. Like I'm going to Langebaan this weekend with my best mate, and whenever I'm up there and with him and his uncle, and it's the one space, the one time where I can, believe it or not, but I can actually just have my phone there and I don't look at it. It's the only time. It's like, okay, cool, let's have a couple of beers, head to the beach, let's head to the pub, let's go for lunch. Phone's there, And some of my mates, even when we go away, they'll see me put my phone down, and as I start walking past it, Cam, no, I'm not getting it, relax. It's literally become like that. Like, stay off your phone, Cam. I'm like, bro, I just need to check that. No, you don't, Cam. Leave it.
No, I think it's a sign of our times, right? It's one of the big, powerful influences. I didn't grow up with phones around, right? I remember someone would call the house and you'd pick up the landline, and then, oh, you want to speak to my brother or to whoever else, and like shout down the hallway, like, this person wants to speak to you. To now having a fully functional, tiny little computer that keeps you connected all the time in your pocket. It's amazing, but it's also dangerous.
No, it is. It is. And with AI now, everything's even more accessible. Like, I've stopped I don't use Google anymore. It's literally ChatGPT, for everything. We structure contracts, email, everything. For me, it's literally boom, ChatGPT. It's when I'm lying watching a movie and something pops up and I want to know the cost or this or that. It's straight ChatGPT these days. AI. I know we're going a bit more off topic or on topic or whatever you want to call it, but how quickly have you seen this AI from zero to hero kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like we always heard about it in the background. Oh, they're trying this, and then bang, it's
I remember I'd say around 2013, I think. I was quite interested in figuring out AI and what was happening with all those, and Taichung at the time.
Yeah.
And so I remember sort of getting to a place where I actually realized that it's so terrifying. I'm just going to stop thinking about it for a while, because there's this, to me, that the sort of simple, and there's a little graph that's become more popular now, but it's this: the intelligence gets to a certain point,
Yeah.
and we go, oh, that's so cute, that's so quaint, look at, and then 2 days later, it's smarter than the smartest person who ever lived, and it keeps moving past that point.
Yeah.
And how far does it go, and what are the consequences? So, but I think what we have at the moment with the LLMs is amazing. I'm not sure that it's necessarily everything that we need for AGI or ASI.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe there's just some small little cluster, but like once you pass a certain point of enough neural activity or whatever, then consciousness spontaneously arises, and we don't know,
Yeah.
right? We could.
No, you don't. That's the thing. And it's it's growing at a at a rapid rate. This AI. It's crazy what you can do with it these days.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
we were saying earlier about monitoring too many situations to monitor, but you have all of these things happening. But something like AI, while you've got, what's it, the LLMs, amazing. And you see how they get better all the time, and you can use them, and they're a force multiplier in the work that you already do. And you have a phone in your hand that you never put down, so you have the LLM with you all the time, and you can already see how the phone becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And so the question is, well, how the hell do we manage to balance these things? Because you want you don't want to be a Luddite and say, screw that. I'm not going to. Let's say in your line of work, if you're just not available, then you can't do your work,
You can't.
right? Or otherwise, you'd have to go sit in an office somewhere with a dedicated landline so that people can call you, so that you can be on the phone the whole time anyway. So you want to leverage the strengths of LLM, growing technologies, cutting edge, whatever you can,
Yeah.
and the phone, and being able to contact people and so on.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it feels to me like you need to, in order to properly navigate this new, what is unfolding in front of us,
Yeah.
it actually requires you to have more discipline. It actually requires you to really, really master yourself. Because if you don't master yourself, then the technology will master you.
100%. 100%. I mean, for me, on an everyday morning, the first thing I do is when I wake up, it's straight onto that phone. All my emails are on there, obviously the WhatsApp, Telegram, multiple communication.
Spot prices, checking what's happening in the markets, and
Yeah, then straight into my commodity app where I've got all the metal prices, agricultural prices, currencies, etc., etc. Looking at this, looking at that, reading this article, then it's business tech, then it's looking at property prices, analyzing things. Most life coaches or therapists or whatever you want to call them are like, why do you immediately go straight onto your phone? I mean, why don't you just wake up, do your stretches, have your coffee, do your walk, do your exercise, and then start going into the tech world, looking at the emails, responding to clients. For me, that is probably the most difficult thing because, like you say, it's so easily accessible. You've got it on you all the time, and it's habit forming. If you look at it, it's every morning you wake up, you're on the phone. To try and break that habit, for me, it's probably the one of the biggest tasks. It really is.
so there's this. I might be misquoting things and so, but there's, I think it's called. Come on, it's a behavioral scientific thing, the variable outcome.
Okay.
So with the variable outcomes, I think the initial experiment, again, I might be messing the story up a little bit, but there's a button and the rat pushes the button and a pellet of food drops out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow, this is cool. Presses the button a bunch of times and now it's got a bunch of food.
It accumulates. Yeah.
But it learns quickly that, whenever it wants it, that button still works. So it doesn't have to have a massive stockpile. Whenever it feels like eating, it just presses the button.
Okay.
Then one wonderful day, he presses the button and a grape falls out.
Okay.
And that rat is fucked. Because now he'll press that button until there's no more space in the box. Because he wants to get another grape. Every time he pushes it, it's another pellet. But he had that grape once. He goes insane. Because now he's hoping that he'll get that.
Yes.
Right? So this variable outcome thing, like, I mean, you can see with the slot machines in the bar. You see, like, we all know the guy who's like that mate and this mate, and it's you're like, wow, dude. And the guy knows, like, but he's won before, and the thing that drives that behavior is that you've already shown your nervous system that sometimes the grape will fall out. So you keep on doing the thing, hoping for the grape to fall out, right? And so you've picked up your phone before, somewhere in your life, and saw that there was a missed call from someone who is going to significantly affect how things go for you.
Correct.
Whether that's in business or love or whatever, right? So you know that the phone can give you, from time to time, a complete gem.
Correct.
So you wake up in the morning and you think, what may have happened while I was sleeping? And you stare at that thing because it's that variable outcome that has driven you to a place where you are addicted to looking at it
Yeah.
because you want to catch it when the right thing comes through,
Correct.
when that important message comes through, the deal went through, or
It's,
the money
it's-
landed
yeah.
in your bank account, or
It's that initial reaction as well, like when you wake up, it's like you're saying, it's that variable outcome where you before you go to bed, you're like, okay, cool. In the morning, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. And when you wake up, you're like, has that happened? Bang.
yeah,
And 9 times out of 10, it hasn't.
yeah. But now you've looked at the screen, and I might as well keep looking at the screen, and the next thing you know, it's half an hour in, and
Yeah.
you've done nothing but stare at your screen
Yeah,
to start your day.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, I wonder there are a couple of people who've suggested ideas like this, but to actually get an old school alarm clock
Yeah,
and put your phone in another room. So when you wake up, it's like, where's my phone? Oh yes, why? Isn't my phone here? Because I decided. Yesterday, me decided not to sleep next to the phone. Mm-hmm. To give yourself that little chance to maybe actually start the day the way that whatever that might be, right? Is it sitting down in meditation, going for a walk, having a coffee and looking at the sunrise without looking at your phone? To just get that little bit of, because I think, that first bit of the day is actually where you kind of set the tone
it is.
for your day. Like you decide, you know what, today I'm going to be the master of me.
Yeah,
I'm going to decide what I'm going to do, and you start to think about it and you plan it out and whatever. So by the time that you get to your phone, it is a tool that you use to do what you want to do instead of it being the master that actually drags you around on the rocks
yeah,
to its own whimsy.
100%. It's just trying to master or keep that. What's the word I'm looking for? Repetition. Like you say, put it in one room, alarm clock, leave it. Once you start building that formation, that habit, which is probably something I'm going to try doing. Thanks for the the suggestion on this.
I'm
but
talking to myself here too.
You see, that,
I mean,
yeah,
I know it's something that I have to fight. If I relax a little bit, then it very easily, because there's so much information,
no, there is.
and I can perfectly justify it because there are lots of things that are important to know.
Yeah,
There are things that are current affairs and so on that you really do want to know them. There are things that are incredibly interesting. So I'm learning while I'm looking through whatever, reading articles and so on. But if I'm not in charge of it, then it's in charge, and then I'm its little bitch.
yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better.
And I don't dig that idea.
No, no, definitely not. But like you say, everything's on there, and we drawn to that, and we rely on that, and yeah, that's why I said previously the little vacations that we can try and get. For me, it's to try and get away from the signal. Can drive you mad.
And I think it has driven a whole bunch of people mad.
Yeah.
And we might not even realize we might be completely mad.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you imagine? Let's say for a moment that your business continues to grow in the positive direction that it has,
Yeah,
and you get to, I don't know, 10 years from now, and you are filthy rich, and you realize that you don't actually have to work anymore, or that you don't have to be that hands-on. How would you imagine to structure a life? Like, get a farm and put a magnetic pulse disruptor around it so that you don't.
for me, I'd probably just be on the boat fishing. To be honest with you, get onto the open water. That's pretty much the idea for me. In the next, let's say 20, 30 years. Things have gone. If things have gone the way I want them to go, to have that more open freedom. For me, nothing feels more like freedom than being on the ocean, or being on the river, or just being on vast a vast space of water, you know. For me, that's where I'd see see it. But again, that thought of
So I think that's more sort of a vague fantasy as opposed to an actual plan.
I'd love it to be a plan. I really would, but it's also that I know deep down inside of me to try and relinquish that and go, I've made it, I've got this, I've got that. Let's try and switch off completely. For me, it would be very difficult to kind of do that. Because I can just see myself just like, I'd get completely bored, Danie, if there wasn't work, or if I didn't look at this or look at that deal, or try and network here. And it's
So if you weren't busy driving yourself crazy, you'd be busy driving other people crazy.
correct. I'd just be a nuisance. Yeah, it's the way my mind goes, and I mean the thought of obviously making it is great, but that retirement or trying to give yourself a proper break. I mean, when you're so used to doing something repetitively, to try and put that down, like the phone repetitiveness, it's difficult, you know. Yeah, but the plan is to be on the open water.
Yeah, I think, the idea of retiring.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see it changing gears and so on, but to actually, to not do anything, that's killer, right?
it is.
You need something to keep you busy. You need something to do. And so I wonder, because I feel like a lot of people work very hard to make lots of money, because one day they're going to have so much money that they don't have to work, and then they're going to do something that they vaguely think that they want to do. So let's say, I'm going to use you as an example because you're just talking about this. 20 years down the line, you try to put everything down and just go fish, and you find that after 2 days of fishing, you actually had your full, and now what?
Yeah,
Where you can actually try to build your life in such a way that you say, at least once a year, I will go out on a multi-day charter or whatever. And say, like, that's actually what I want to do, so I'm going to make sure that I get to do it often as I can afford, as my time allows, as whatever, to actually do that and say, oh, well, maybe this makes it a little bit more sustainable. Because you can actually maybe get a camera that's not a phone. So that you can, while you're fishing, actually get away from your phone as well.
yeah,
And like actually enjoy the labor of your fruit while you still have the youth and strength to do so.
yes, correct. That's, like I said, that's the goal, that's the plan. When when we get there, we get there. But that initial, like you say, I mean, you get it. You, after 20 years, like you say, you decide to go fishing, and after the second day, you're going, well, this is lovely, you know.
Yeah.
This is not kind of what I pictured it to be like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think my point is actually just that a lot of the time we know that money stands as a proxy for success.
Correct.
Right? And so if I work very hard and I make lots of money, then it means I'm very successful. Mm-hmm. But that success is supposed to stand for, what does your ideal life look like? Like, what do you really want? And I think a lot of people stop short of that. It's like, I'll figure it out when I've got all the money. And then eventually they get all the money, and then they realize that, oh, that wasn't it either. But now you've already spent, 20 or 30 years doing this thing.
Yeah.
So I always wonder if it's possible to try and stop, like, almost every day, actually. I mean, if you wake up and you say, like, every day I'm going to sit down and journal a little bit and think about, like, what do I really want from life? And then figure out where does making money and so on fit into that. Where does fishing fit into that? How do I balance all of these things?
Yeah, well, it's again like trying to wake up and balance not going on your phone or going to the gym or exercise or, to try and put your mind off or put it at ease. It's all about that balance, and to try and get it right all the time. In my opinion, it's very difficult.
No, I think it's one of the most difficult things we can do.
Exactly. When you're in such a habit, or I mean, obviously once you're in that routine, it's going to take a while to keep that routine going. Specifically for me with the phone and trying to tap off at night or put the mind at ease. But what I've learned specifically in this industry, if you don't, you will drive yourself mad. 100%. You just get worked up over stupid things, and you start over analyzing or you start overthinking. And for me, once I start doing that, that's when I know to be like, okay, let's take an hour or 2 hours just to wind it down a bit, because you're
Yeah.
under so much pressure.
I think it's important in your relationship with your business partners that you actually give each other that space,
Yeah,
right? To make it not sort of vaguely think, well, of course I'd give little Jimmy his space or whatever. To
Yeah.
actually say, listen, guys, this is the nature of our game, is that, we can all burn out terribly, do
Yeah.
lots of damage. Why? Why would you? So if you feel that you need that break, switch to, like, say, I'm going to be offline for 3 hours.
yeah,
Switch, turn on alarms, switch it off, go do something.
yeah. So for me, I'll have to obviously replace that and do something for my mind to be active, so I'm not really thinking about that. For some people, where they can just literally just park off and try not think about work or relationships or this or that. I personally can't do that. I have to obviously keep moving and keep my mind active with something else. You're literally just replacing it with with other things. But
Yeah, like do a word puzzle or
yeah, go for a walk or go to the pub or
put on some
something.
music, dance around a little bit.
Correct. Just distract yourself with a distraction. You know. Yeah.
Something different enough.
Correct.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, you were saying that it's very difficult for you. Some people can just park off.
Yeah.
They can just sit and I don't know how true that is. I think most people are much more wound up than you realize. People project all kinds of things, but in reality, people's heads are very busy, and it's not just you who seems like they've grown into a phone here. I think it's almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
So everyone's dealing with a similar thing. This phone, LLMs, the rise of that, all of this information that's available, and then trying to figure out how the hell are you supposed to master this, right? How are you supposed? Because it's only going to get smarter.
It is.
Right? The phone's only going to get smarter. It's going to better understand what you want. It's going to be able to give you better suggestions for articles that you might find interesting, whatever, right? So it's not going to become easier to
No.
resist it. It's only going to become better, and therefore better at keeping your attention.
Yeah, it is.
And so that's why I think this is sort of, I'm saying people almost have to become enlightened in terms of the level of how self-controlled they have to be. And almost sort of the irony, like the rise of synthetic consciousness will force humans to become more conscious
Yeah.
or fall by the wayside in a way, like just become a complete slave.
Like you said, let the technology be your bitch instead of instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to share in terms of your business, or where people could find you if they're interested in contacting? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, they can go onto Dallas Global Trading website. I mean, there's also the A1 Energy website. That's on the fuel side of things. Yeah, and then obviously on the side, one of my best mates has got a security systems business, so specializing in gate motors, gates, electric fencing, cameras, etc., etc. So that's called JVN Security Solutions. They can contact me through that as well. I mean, I'm trying to push that to reach a bigger market share on the Western Cape as well for Jean. So, I mean, he's pumping at the moment. Very proud of the oak, and on the side to try and build that business and try and on the mines, on the properties that we all getting involved, we trying to incorporate that as a one stop shop. So
All the sort of security needs that they would have on a mine.
Yeah, correct. Electric fencing, cameras, automation, all of that. I'm trying to gear up. So it's literally one stop shop. That client goes to that, and it just keeps building and building and building and rolling. So that's the next step. Is for one business to fold into the other business, and one hand feeds the other, kind of thing. That's the next step.
That sounds next level.
Yeah, well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
Slowly.
Cam, I think we'll drop those details in the description as well, so people
Yeah.
can go follow those links if they're interested. I'll say thank you very much for being on the Dandan Flow. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool.
No, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.